Hello and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, I'm Linda and I'm here with my two friends again. I'm so excited. Hello, Paul, first his time. Hello, Joel.
Hi, Linda.
I'm always here.
You are always here.
I'm the blowing.
No, well, only lately while we've had lockdown. But it's good to see you again, Joel.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Good to see you both.
No, really. So how you guys been this week?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's been just a lockdown in my little bunker at home week. Plugging away.
I think that's what we're all doing, Joel,
Yes.
plugging away.
Yes.
And you,
Well, I'm not going to
Chef?
say what I really am thinking right now because it's not pertinent to cooking
No.
with steam. But
Paul's a bit,
oh
bit of a,
Jesus,
yeah.
But anyway, like it's got nothing to do with cooking with steam. It's other stuff. But other than that, no, I'm good.
Oh, that's
we're,
good.
Booting along here, swimming okay. We're not going too much against the current. I can say that for us. For other people
Other
that I
people,
am
I
sometimes
know.
dealing with, it's like swimming against the current all the time. But anyway,
Everyone's handling things differently, aren't they?
aren't they? Some smarter than others. But anyway, let's just push on. What's happening in the kitchen this week? Well, what happened, Linda? You tell me. I was in there, but you tell me.
Well, oh no, don't turn it on to me. No, I'm the wrong one to ask. No, I'm the one who asks questions, guys. This
Well,
is the way it rolls.
I was only in here for a day, but I did get to see a pretty awesome and taste a pretty delicious one sheet chicken.
Yeah, the one sheeter.
The one sheet chicken meal.
I was going to
Which,
bring that up. That would be the one thing I would have talked about
Yeah.
and ask Paul to go through it again because I know. See, out there, listeners, when Paul's cooking, something he'll just do really quickly and say, oh, no, it's nothing. And Joel and I will be like, what? This looks amazing and it tastes amazing. And what do you mean it's nothing?
Dude, I could cook for weeks and weeks and still not get the flavours. And
They're just being nice to me because they know I'm grumpy.
No,
No, because
we're not.
you're like this all the time. What are you talking about?
You know,
You're off.
like to anybody that's really familiar with cooking with steam, when you look at our photos and most of the photos that we look at, which we're all really proud of, obviously, but most of the photos tend to make you salivate a little. Well, when you actually get to taste it, and I know you would agree with me, Linda, when you actually get to taste it, it tastes better than it looks, and it looks pretty bloody good all the time. So,
Well,
no, you're just being too humble as always about your cooking. It was today's. I got lunch when I wasn't expecting lunch, and it was bloody delicious.
Not bad for
what
a
we
blind.
had, I know, what we had today, listeners, was roast chicken and
Butterflied roast chicken,
the veggies were little potatoes, cut in
Carrots,
half, carrots, onions. Anything else?
Like I said, simple.
Simple,
Yeah.
all in. But the way that Paul had finished it off was, from what I understand, Paul, when I could catch you walking out after doing the dishes and walking out going, oh, it's nothing, whereas John and I were like, wow, you'd taken the chicken out to rest.
Correct.
And then you had the pan that the chicken and potato and everything was cooked in.
Yeah.
And so it had that kind of the juices from the chicken. So you put that on the stovetop and cranked up the heat so that it kind of turned it all sticky
just
brown.
threw it all around and
Yeah, just kind of glazed it a
gave
bit.
it a
So
good mix.
You
there
didn't
was
add anything
very
to the
little.
pan?
No, I mean the chicken had a bit of a bath in harissa, shallots, lemon juice, vinegar, and a little bit of oil, but I didn't want to add too much oil. And because I did it that way, and we cooked it on a very high percentage of steam, I knew that there would be. So the vegetables essentially weren't roasted; they were almost like braised. But to get some extra colour on them, I knew that I would have to do that, and I knew that I would have liquid in the bottom of the pan, both from the liquid that I sort of gave the chicken a bath in, and the chicken itself, and the vegetables itself, and the lemons which were in there, and all that stuff. So I knew I'd have liquid in there, and it's just like any other cooking liquid. when you reduce it, it intensifies in flavour. So because I had it in a dish, which we could just chuck straight on the stovetop, which you can do with most roasting pans, I thought, why not? We'll just sort of, and it's more, they're not roasted, they're sort of braised and then glazed, I suppose is the best way to describe it. But it's got all the flavour that came out of the chicken from its bath, everything like that was just chucked in there and it's stuck in there, and then you just reduce it down so it intensifies the flavour a bit. That's all it is.
That's all it is. Have you ever done that at home, Joel?
No.
Oh, well, I can tell you that I've never done that at home either.
Yeah, but you've reduced things on the stovetop.
Yes.
Not in that way, though. And it's these little things, Paul, that you just take for granted because you do it all the time.
Mm.
And then we sit here going, wow, it might seem bleeding obvious, but it's not until it's pointed out to you and you go, well, I could do that. But sometimes you have to have it shown to you, like anything.
Well, I need you to give me some tips on, exactly what you're talking about, like the, shallots and lemon juice and this and that and whatever else.
Well,
because
maybe you should start watching some tutorials that I've done on the Cooking with Steve website, Joel. We talk a lot about
www.
we talk a lot about using acids as enhancers, so like vinegar and lemon juice.
But you've never used the word bath before. But I know you've been brining.
Yeah, so this wasn't brined.
No,
this
was a bath.
Yeah.
They're different, obviously, Joel.
Yeah, well, so a bath's quicker than a brine. A brine, yeah.
I have never heard you talk about giving a chicken a bath.
Yeah, well, I mean, so it was like a marinade, but because it wasn't as viscous or as sticky, so it didn't hold onto the chicken, which wasn't the purpose, but it had a lot of acid in it. So lemon juice and vinegar.
And the spring onions. Were they in there?
There was no spring onions.
Oh, didn't you say spring onions? Oh, shallots, sorry.
Hey, it's Jesus.
Sorry.
See, this is the problem, people.
My retention.
You get your
what?
S vegetables mixed up, and
I
then it all
know.
goes to custard.
Hey, that's a good name for a podcast.
Oh, isn't it? So, yeah, no. Yeah, so I kind of used the term bath because it wasn't sitting in that marinade for very long, and it was a lot wetter, for want of a better term, so it wasn't holding onto the chicken. But I kind of wanted that because I knew that when it went in the oven, it would help flavour the chicken. Of course, if I had planned it, yes, I could have done that in the fridge for a few hours. But what I wanted it to do was more flavour the vegetables. So I wanted a bit of the best of both worlds. So a bath for me is much more liquid and viscous versus a marinade versus a brine versus I don't know what else. But a brine is a totally different.
Well, I did have that
scenario.
I did have a taste of that, and that was amazing. And I hope you do a tutorial for us soon on that.
The brine chicken.
The brine chicken was absolutely amazing.
It's a big process.
It is. You've got to be really committed.
It's pretty
3
simple.
days of watching your chicken, but
that's 3 days of drying it.
Yeah,
it's a day of.
So 4 days. It's a 4-day process. But I can say for anyone who does think about brining a chicken, it's worth it at the end.
Yeah, it's the best chicken I've had in a long
Spectacular.
time.
In ways that I can't verbalise, I can't elucidate very well.
That's a big word. What does that mean, Joel? Hallucinate? I know that one.
No.
Projecting her expression.
But today, so when you say bath, I'm picturing like a big vessel with the chicken in it, submerged, and the vegetables floating around. But that's not what you mean, is it? No,
not at all. That would be braising something. When it's totally covered and then you cook it in a liquid.
Yeah, so that's
more like a braise.
But even just getting the flavours in there, so a bath is not. It's just liquid
Look,
on the bottom.
it's probably okay. Stop taking everything so literally. Jesus.
I'm an accountant.
I
can't not take it literally.
Yeah, okay, bath. It was a marinade. There you go.
Okay.
Does that help?
A thin, watery
Well, anyway, it was bloody delicious.
Yeah.
marinade.
So thank you for lunch.
No worries. Moving on. What else is happening? Got some videos coming, I think.
Yeah.
I've just done the recipes, so we've got a little steamed barramundi number, but I actually steamed it in brown butter.
Oh, yum.
So that's not so much using the steamer. Well, it's not steamed fish, but it's kind of using the steam oven to keep the butter just at a warm temperature, so it's almost like poached. There you go, Linda, poached.
I do know what that means.
So, yeah, a little bit different, pretty simple. It's like a real sort of Cheats fish curry because there's sort of those curry type flavours in there, coriander, cumin, chilli, garlic, ginger.
You had me at curry.
Yeah, it's not a curry.
No.
But then we did some, with that little nice, simple silver beet number with coconut cream and stuff like that. Same, very similar flavour profiles. So is it a steam dish entirely? Well, we use the steam oven because we like to cook our fish at a lower temperature. So it's set steam poached. There we go.
No, and I did try that. Sorry, Joel, you weren't here. I got it. It was yum.
So that'll be out, I don't know, in the next few days, I would imagine. And then the chicken recipe and the Turkish bread recipe, I've just done the video for that.
Oh, that was good.
That Turkish bread is awesome.
Yeah, so and that's a really
So
good one,
coming.
actually. That's a really simple one. So
got a massive thumbs up from all of my family.
Yeah. That way, you're not worrying too much about developing a super, super crust because Turkish bread isn't crusty like that. So it's just a very simple, pretty easy. Anyone can do it, Linda.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Joel doesn't have a coffee steam oven, that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sore point.
When you renovate your house, buy another one. Be easier.
Yeah, I think so. Come on,
Yes.
Cat Slotto gods, shine on me.
Well, I've been looking at the book, guys, and getting Demystified. We've been trying to get Demystified up onto a platform that we can sell it overseas for our United States, Canada, and UK listeners, particularly because postage from here to anywhere is just horrendous.
Crazy.
But the format we have our book in at the moment,
Everyone blames
slightly.
us.
I
Don't
know.
blame. It's not our fault.
It's Australia Post.
We actually take, people don't realise.
It's a monopoly.
We actually even take a hit on the postage.
Yes, we do.
As it is.
Yeah.
But for international postage, it's just daylight robbery
Out of
from
control.
our monopoly.
It is. It's crazy. We actually sold a book to Ireland the other day. We had a customer from Ireland ordered one from us. I think we've sold to Ireland before, but not.
It's
maybe
almost
really
cheaper.
in the early days. It was crazy.
It's almost cheaper for me to take it over there directly. Like, seriously, it's
It would have been
We're
ridiculous.
interested to see how you're going to do that right now.
Well, no, we can't now.
It'd be cheaper
I know, we
to
can't
buy
now.
a bloody plot of land, grow a tree, mill it, produce the paper, print the book,
Print it out.
print the book on that paper.
Now, that's taking it a little far, Joel.
Well, it's
but
probably
it
on
feels
par.
that way. But
Probably on par.
we are trying to work out a platform of just maybe trying to change slightly the size of Demystified so that we can have it printed overseas for overseas supply. It's okay for here, but book 2 might have to be framed slightly differently, Joel, from what we've been planning on.
Yep.
Sort of
More investigation.
It does, but we're working on it. We are always working on these little things. It takes a while. People can't quite understand why it takes a while, but it does take a while. Research. Well, okay.
Speaking of buying plots and stuff, little tidbit for you. Do you know that you can actually buy like a deed to a plot in Scotland or Ireland or somewhere like that, and like it costs you like $40.
Yeah, I bought
But
one.
when you've got that, you can be a lord, like
Yeah,
legally.
I bought one for my old man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's on one of the most, because he's a mad fly, well, was a mad fly fisherman. So it was on one of the, here's the funny part of the story. They were like, it's on one of the greatest trout streams in northern bloody England or Ireland or where it's Scotland. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, that's a really good, interesting gift. So he was like Lord Peter, had his own plot of land, gave you a full like Google Maps thing of where it was, and you get a certificate, and you're the lord of that plot of land, and da da da. So then I was like, okay, that's cool. Gave it to him. Da da. Did a little bit more searching. Do you know where it was? Where the Lockerbie plane crash was. Because like seriously, who's going to live there? Like, so no, I knew that. Yeah.
So did that pass down to you, and you're going to pass it on to?
I don't know actually.
Younger?
So if your old man's a lord,
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was
do
a
you
lord.
pick anything up just by entitlement? in terms of...
I need
Have
to
you got
find
a
that.
type?
Maybe you two need to address me differently now, rather than Peanut.
Oh, that's
Maybe. But and that's the nice one we're using for the podcast.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up, Joel.
Yeah.
You might have to start
I
calling me
never
Sir.
knew you could even do it. Now I don't know. I think I was doing something.
It's like
Put
they're
a
like
post
two.
on our Facebook page or something. Some rubbish popped up in front of me. I thought, actually, this looks interesting. I'll read about this.
Yeah, they're like 2.1 metres squared.
Yep.
Plot of land. Yeah. I need to find that certificate.
You do.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you might need to go visit it one day when we can
Build a matchbook
Fly.
house on it.
out of the country.
Yeah. Well, I can go fishing there because it's my land.
Yeah.
So even if it's private river or Crown River, and you
Well,
know,
I actually have a Scottish
You just
connection,
can't cast very far.
or very far. I've got a Scottish connection who's currently living in Germany, and he might be able to go and sort it out for you. I'm sure James will love it.
I think I'll be able to do it from here. Oh, well, yeah. Well, what is James doing?
Well,
James, what are you doing?
he's listening to our
Yeah, I
podcast.
know.
That's what we're doing. That's what he's doing.
He will be enjoying the fact that he got a mention.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, guys. Another
No
busy week,
worries.
but not
Thank
much
you.
for us, Joel. But
Yeah,
but
it's
thank
all right.
you,
There's
Paul.
some of us that do the work around here.
That's exactly how it should be, fellas.
And that'll be Sir from now on too. by the
Oh
way.
dear, Joel. You had to bring it up, didn't you? You
Oh,
just
well.
had to. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
See you, simple
See
folk.
ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.